You know, I really don't think people understand how good KFC actually is. Like, do you understand how consistent a Wicked Wing is? I say this because I just had a Zinger Box. It's a Monday. I was like, you know what? I really want a fucking Zinger Box. Like, I don't care, like, for pricing, because I got a bit of a hack. One of my boys told me about it. I'll tell you in a second. But, like, I was like, you know what? Like, I had a decent, like, not even a decent weekend. It was an amazing weekend. Shout outs to the Valentines. Hope you guys had a good Valentines over the weekend. Hope you celebrated it well and had a beautiful, beautiful weekend. But we'll get into maybe that soon, because this whole podcast has to do with a bit of that too. Most of it. But KFC, man. Like, you go and you get a Wicked Wing, and it's so fucking consistent. Like, it's good every single time. No matter where you are. You could be out in fucking Geelong for a KFC Wicked Wing, or you could be in the freaking center of the city with the coronavirus, and you could still get the beautiful, crunchy, moist texture of a Wicked Wing. Now, if you guys are curious on how to get a cheap Zinger Box, it's actually very simple. You go, because I usually don't ever finish a large drink. I never do. I get a regular Zinger Box. Make sure you get the supercharged sauce in the burger. If you don't, you're a bitch. And make sure when you pay, right? When you pay, you finish up, you go to the next window, and when you're about to get it, you say, hey, do you mind if I get some supercharged sauce on the side? Oh, that shit's amazing, dude. It works every time. Because that sauce is like $1 or like 50 cents. And you know you want more than one. Because like half large chips, you smash like one of them. You need at least two. And you always say, do you mind if I just get a few like supercharged sauces? Bro, they hit you up every single time with that. And it works every time. You don't have to pay. But the hack is, if you don't want your potato gravy, because sometimes I usually don't. I feel disgusting if I eat it. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. You get a regular Zinger Box and you ask them to swap out the potato gravy for extra chips. Or basically they upsize your regular chips to a large. So you get a large Zinger Box with a regular drink, which you usually never finish the large drink anyway. Because like a 600ml shit, you just get a can at a regular. And it works every single time. With the supercharged sauce in the burger, with the supercharged sauce on the side. Ah, man, that works every single time. And I usually get it. I usually get it every Thursday. I've cut back a lot. I haven't had a Zinger Box in actually quite a while. I used to get like... I won't lie to you. I get them pretty frequently, and it'd be a bit concerning, but I've cut back. Even on like Thursdays, because like I train on a Thursday night for tennis. After training on Thursday, we always get a Zinger Box, always. But I've cut back on the last like few weeks, even like last year. I didn't really eat Zinger Boxes that much. I would just get like 6 Wicked Wings, and like that's it. It fill me up sometimes it wouldn't, but right now I'm happy. Like, I'm good the way I am. Well, not the way I am, the way I'm going about it. Because some people have taken notice the way I've kind of lost weight in the face, and some clothes are starting to fit a bit nicer. Like, I'm wearing my vintage Batman tee from, I'm pretty sure it's from 88, I think. I'm not even going to bother checking. But it's a beautiful Batman tee, vintage, single stitch on both the sleeves and the bottom hem. And this didn't fit, and now it does, and it fits a little bit drapey. I wish it fits a little bit better, but it will in the future. And I'm still like, munching out a Zinger Box on a Monday, because I know I'm going to actually go play racquetball later, which is kind of like a bitch version of squash. I'm going to play that, and this Zinger Box will probably be the only thing I'll eat all day. And then maybe like a tiny dinner, like not much, because I won't be that hungry. But I'm getting a little bit off topic, but today's podcast is going to be about my first ever experience, and also my second experience, at the National Gallery of Victoria at NGV. This is a place I've never been to. If you don't know what National Gallery of Victoria is, it's basically next to Flinders Street. And it's an exhibition which they hold multiple exhibitions throughout the year. Oh my days. Language is just getting a bit out of hand, isn't it? Yeah. NGV, like, they have exhibitions throughout the entire year. One thing I really, really want to do, and I will do soon, is go on a Friday night, because apparently it's like a fucking vibe and a half. With NGV, you can kind of plan your visit on the actual website, but, I mean, the person I went with, we went quite a while ago, and we actually checked out the Comme des Garçons exhibition, And it was the first time I ever stepped foot in any art exhibition, any form of like fashion related art exhibition, whatever. I've never stepped foot in that because I never had a person who was as much into fashion as me, who I was very close with enough to go. It's plain and simple. Like, my friends don't know fashion at all. And that's not to throw shade at them. That's not to be like, you're a fucking, you're shit at dressing. Nah, that's not it. It's the shit that I wear is like, you look quirky in that, but we vibe with that. We know we can't pull it off, but we know you can. I'm not going to ask like my boys or anyone that I hang out with, like, hey, you want to go to this Comme des Garçons exhibition? It's mainly women's wear. Do you want to come have a look? Why the fuck would they go? Like, why on earth would these fuckers go? Like, I was like, last weekend, I went fishing with the boys. Literally with the boys. And we went fishing. That is like the complete opposite of what I did. Like, probably this went over like a month ago now. Maybe in like 2 months ago when I went to this exhibition. So I never really had someone to go with. And I recently met someone, and now we're both into the same type of stuff. We love these exhibitions, and we love going and getting to see what lies beyond the clothing. What makes a brand like Comme des Garçons so influential, so iconic, and so legendary. And NGV, the National Gallery of Victoria, had a free exhibition. It's fucking free. I'm pretty sure it's still on for like, I think it might still be on for a month. As I continue this podcast, I will have a look and try to see if it's still on and give you the date. But it was quite a while ago. So for starters, it's free. You can just walk in and just have a breeze. And it is beyond like anything I've ever experienced before, because I'd never been to something like that. And I'm pretty sure this is very, very sad, but yeah, it actually has finished. Actually, hold up. Let me go to SC Exhibitions, because right now there's the Keith Haring one, which is the one I went to, which we'll talk about in a minute. The Cause one, I also want to go see. I haven't been to yet, but I will in the next month or so. But for some reason, my internet is not freaking working. I don't really know why. Collecting Com. Oh, no. It is, people. We're still on. It's until the 26th of July, 2020, and it's free entry. So it's called Collecting Com. So when you walk in, it already gives off the atmosphere of Comme des Garçons. And mind you, I am not an artistic and, metaphorical and philosophical person when it comes to clothing. I just walk in, I see the garments, I read some of the information and just kind of take note and just really admire the way stuff fits and the way the color palette was used, what type of fabrics it was used. That's it. Like, I don't know anything about, the whole reasoning behind a certain season, the whole reasoning behind a certain collection and what ideas they came about it. Yeah, it's actually there when you go and you read all the info, but that was a while ago. That didn't stuck with my head that much. Like, yeah. But anyways, so it does finish on the 26th, I might have already mentioned. So in the description for NGV, it says here that Collecting Com examines the radical concepts and design methods that have informed Kawakobo's practice since, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, since 1981, the first year that she presented in Paris. And this was around at the time, the same year that Yohji was actually within that whole like avant-garde Japanese clothing type era too. It's when he first popped up on the scene. So featuring more than 50 examples drawn from the NGV significant Comme des Garçons holdings, generally gifted, blah, 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 blah. There's more like, it's even supported by additional loans from the archive of Takamasa Takashi. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong anyway, but I'm assuming he's got most of these pieces and actually gives them as a loan for NGV. Obviously, we get paid for it too, so that's even the fucking biggest steez. And most of these collections work with Junya Watanabe and Taiyu Kurahara. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong as well. Fuck me dead. But the matter of the fact is that this exhibition is free and it is beautiful. You come out of this exhibition and all you're thinking is, all right, where the fuck am I going to find these pieces? Because honestly, I walked in, right, and I had, I didn't know what to expect going in. All I knew was like, there's going to be some nice outfits, some cool pieces, and that's about it. But dude, was I wrong. It's more about the atmosphere the NGV brings when you walk into the exhibition. It is the the attention to detail when it comes through showing certain lighting at different angles, certain like steez when it comes to certain collections. Like for instance, I'll explain something very, very vague because it was a while ago for my first time. But when I walked into Comme des Garçons, I remember one of the collections, there was 3 mannequins, women mannequins by the way, and it showed off like a very, I wouldn't say BDSM, but it was like a very bondage, red and black Comme des Garçons look. I don't know what season it was from. I don't know what year it was from. I think it was between 85 and 90, I think. And I looked at it and was like, whoa. It was just a work of art. And I know you're thinking, oh, bondage, what the fuck? But back then, trying to mix bondage and like a BDSM within your garments was like not known. Like that, you do that and you think that was a bit weird. But Comme des Garçons pulled it off, and the collection itself was beautiful. The way, I'm pretty sure it was the collection that was based on exposing lingerie to kind of give the whole idea of the concept between that collection. I don't know what name it was. I don't know what it is. You just have to go in and have a look if you're in Melbourne. But one of the collections with the 3 mannequins had reverse lingerie. So usually when you're, as a woman and you wear lingerie, you wear sexy lingerie, which is a steez. Big time. But if you think about it, you wear lingerie and it's always hidden. It's always hidden behind closed doors, because the matter of the fact is that only the person that, you're going to be intimate with is really going to see that. Or only you. That's it. The idea behind this collection was that the lingerie should be exposed and should be shown to the world that how sexy a woman could be in lingerie. So they implemented, like, instead of showing a bra behind a tee, it was over the top of the t-shirt, or it was over the top of a coat or something like that. You could see the lacing, like the lacing of a bra was exposed, but it wasn't so in your face and so shown as much nudity, if that makes sense. Because the main point of lingerie is you're basically nude, but it's like a sexy nude. But if you think about it with this collection, it's more based on for the woman to be so sexy and show off the lingerie within a fit and still show off those type of garments, because usually those are always hidden. So it was like a really, really interesting concept. When I brought it up with the person that I was with, we were like, that's really cool when you really think about it, because back then, like, that was already like not a thing. And you look back at it now and you look at the history of Comme des Garçons and you're seeing that collection, you're like, what the fuck? Like, that was insane. And then moving on, there are heaps of other collections. There was one that was based solely on like the texture of wool and implementing wool fabric in so many different ways and making sure that you use every bit of fabric when it came to making a garment or an outerwear piece. One of the coats I remember seeing, I'm pretty sure the bottom of it, or the bottom half of the coat, was actually used with like 10 different types of fabric, and it was all sewn, like all hand sewn together at the bottom to kind of give off like that kind of patchwork type effect, but it didn't look so tacky. That was something that was really crazy to me. And my favorite part of this whole collection would have had to be towards the very end, because this is my type of vibe. It was Comme des Garçons' take on military. Oh man, I remember seeing it. Oh my God, it was just perfect. It was, once again, most of it was women's. I don't even remember if I saw like a collection on like menswear, but with women's wear, it was military. The tones that they used being that khaki, that olive, the really dull beige, the browns, all implemented within like the 4 to 5 mannequins of that season. Oh, it was so good. And I walked out and I was like, I'm going to go on Grailed. I'm going to go on Grailed, and I know I'm not going to buy anything, but I just got that spark, that flair of wanting to be in fashion again. And not even so much again, because even before this, I was already, diving back into the realm of fashion and wanting to get into that passion for fashion, as cringy as that fucking is. But you walk out of this exhibition, you're like, you feel very, very inspired, because you know that you can wear this. Like, as much as, for starters, like, I'm not going to wear that lingerie outside collection, not a fucking chance. But if you think about it, that military collection towards the end of the exhibition, I know I could wear that. And this ties back to everything that Com is known for, that, as much as avant-garde as it is, anyone could really pull it off. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's being able to be that confident, that driven, and that easygoing when it comes to wearing something like that. And as much as avant-garde as most of that whole exhibition was, I still felt like it was, you know, it was within the realm of wanting to be able to wear whatever you want to wear and getting very, very inspired by every single mannequin that was out there. And then you go back. I even just pictured this right now because it just came into my head, was that when you're walking through each season and each collection, on the walls, there's kind of archive pieces. And there was a beautiful, like, just single-breasted, like, short coat, but it was cropped. It was kind of, it reminded me of, like, it was really hard to explain, like a Japanese, like, art teacher, like, mock neck jacket kind of thing, if that really makes sense. But it was, like, with this beautiful wool fabric that you just don't see, like, even thrifted, you don't see that type of shit. I saw it, and it was out on, like, it was actually within it was framed on the wall, spread out with, like, nice texture behind the back, like, textured background. And you just see the jacket, and you're like, what the fuck? It was just phenomenal. It's really hard to explain through a podcast. I'm being serious. But, like, for me, it was hard going because I didn't know who to go with. And I didn't know about it. Because I'm not I wasn't into this. It's not so much that I wasn't into it. It's just that I never, like I said at the start, I never had anyone to go with. Like, I never could, like, I wasn't able to. And yeah, I could have gone alone. Like, no front. You might as well just fucking go alone. Catch a vibe by yourself. You take your own pace. You don't have to be with someone, and then someone's like, no, can we go? And you're like, shut the fuck up, I want to stay. And then you're just kind of like, what the hell? But if you go at your own pace, it's like relaxing. But I can never do that because I'm not that type of person to do a lot of things alone. Lately, I have been. Since the events of 2019, I've always, you know, not been able to do shit alone, but now I am, and it's fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. Like, I can go for a walk on my own or go kick the footy alone. I don't give a shit because it's good to be alone sometimes. As much as, like, I have a fear of being alone, it's good to, you know, if you don't have anyone to go with, I just highly suggest you guys just take some time out of the day, take a Friday, like even a Friday night or Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, whatever. Just go, you know. The people there at NGV are just phenomenal. Like, the people that go, it's really weird to say this, but I felt like there was, like, a culture within NGV. Yeah, there's, like, you know, got the oldies, the people in their 50s and 60s, you know, just really there for the art. But when I was at Com, you just see everyone else's fits, and you're like, yo, we all belong here. And, you know, being a man in fashion is already weird enough as it is. It used to be very weird back in the day, but now it's not so much. It's very a bit like, you know, it's welcoming. Guys that dress nice is like, that's a tick in most women's or other men's as boxes too. If a guy dresses well, it's like, he knows what the hell he's doing. And when it came to going to the Comme des Garçons exhibition, it was like, you know, I kind of felt like I was at home. You know, was wearing, I believe I was wearing just like I think I was wearing like just a black hoodie, my Carhartt vest, denim, SLP boots, simple stees, you know, nothing too crazy. It was fucking hot, I'll tell you that. But, you know, the Carhartt vest and just my workwear stees that I, you know, just love at the time and still love to this day. You know, it kind of felt like I was at home, you know, just simple as that. So, but moving on, because this is going to be, it's going to be a pretty short podcast because it was just my first experience with that. But I did go again to NGV actually 2 days ago. According to this, is a Monday. Try to drop it every Monday night or Tuesday evening. But for this podcast, which by the way, we're on Spotify, SoundCloud, and also iTunes. Link is in the description for this YouTube video. If you are listening to the Spotify, you know, links for everything always be down below, or as much as I try. So on Saturday, I originally organized, because you know me, I am a sexy romantic individual. I'm trying to be as romantic as I can. But, you know, plans got changed around because I wanted to do something on a Saturday, but the weather was disgusting. I wanted to go for a picnic, and then it rained all day, and it was just like, what the fuck? And I was expecting this on Friday, so Saturday came around, and we're like, you know, the person I was with, we said, you know what? Let's go to NGV. They've got the Keith Haring, like, exhibition on. Let's go and have a look. And I was like, you know what? I'm down. Like, let's fucking do it. We know we're always going to go And Keith Haring is like iconic. Like, it's incredible. And we're like, you know what? Let's go. So this one on the other hand, which by the way, comparing the two, the Comme des Garçons, because it's free, it's not as big. Okay, so just giving you a bit of warning. I think we'll maybe in there for like 30 to 45 minutes. I think. If you really take your time, read everything, and just really dissect everything, you might be there for like 50 minutes. But it's usually around half to 45. But this Keith Haring one, I really hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. If not, I'm going to get fucking roasted. The Keith exhibition, we were there for an hour and a half. Like, holy shit. Like, and time flew by, mind you. We were there for ages. And by the end, I was mentally exhausted because it is so overwhelming. It's like, what the fuck? Like, for instance, well, for starters, before you go in, you do have to think about this, that you have to pay for this one. So this one's not free. The Keith exhibition, the tickets were, I believe, they were around 40. Adults 30, concessions 25. There you go. This is what this is the description that NGV has given Keith exhibition. In an unprecedented world premiere exhibition, the National Gallery Victoria presents the work of two of the most significant and influential artists of the late 20th century, Keith Haring and Jean-Michel Basquiat. Crossing Lines. I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't fucking roast me, please. It is exclusive to Melbourne, and the exhibition offers new and fascinating insights to unique visual language and reveals for the first time the many intersections between their lives, practice, and ideas, yada, yada. So, taking all that in, you go in, right? And for starters, they kind of give you a rundown of what the hell Keith Haring was known for. And this dude, pretty sure this was back, I'm pretty sure from what I remember from 2 days ago, it was set in the 80s and it was in New York City. So his main ideology was that he could, instead of taking painting, because he was a graffiti artist technically. So if you really do think about it, you have to carry a lot of paint cans and you have to carry a lot of shit with you if you want to go graffiti. You got to carry like 5 to 6 different types of colored paint in cans. That's a bit heavy, you know, kind of running around, especially at night. Keith Haring was just one fucking white piece of chalk. What the fuck? This man carried a white piece of chalk, was in New York City, ran to every subway possible, saw a blank black canvas within the subway of New York City, saw a black canvas, boom, ripped out a piece of chalk, and just created just phenomenal pieces, which I'm pretty sure from what I, articulated is that he's known for his straight lines and his one-handed paintings, if that really makes sense, or one-handed drawings. Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't. But you think about it, when you draw, you need to take your hand off or take the pencil off to make a different line. Keith Haring has the one line the whole entire way. He doesn't lift off. He doesn't take the chalk off the canvas, or it's, a piece of art there. It is just in one whole motion, which is so crazy to think about. And this man, being gay, especially in the 80s, and being openly gay was already a bit of a challenge for him. It was actually a massive challenge for him. But even that, he would run into the subways with a piece of chalk, mash up a drawing or something, get arrested. Like several times he's been arrested. Thought, fuck this, went back out and did it again and again, and he just did not care. And that's like, the passion that he has for getting his word, getting his ideas and his creative mindset out on that canvas. One thing that Keith did a lot was actually use different objects and use that as the canvas. One example was that he went to a burnt down building or a destroyed building in New York City, had seen a mashed up, faded as hell green door, pretty sure it was green, and used that as the canvas for his artwork and used that to create a masterpiece. Another example is he used a helmet as well, like a motorbike helmet, which is pretty cool. I thought that was very interesting. And another one next to it was an old Everlast boxing belt, which was pretty cool. And he throwed his his creative mindset onto this like boxing belt, and had like arms on the side of the Everlast, and just put some not simple, but put like different types of artwork on there. Pretty, hard to describe on podcast, but it was pretty, really sick. I'm pretty sure that belt was from 88. It's like a 1988 Everlast, like really just leathery brown, just dull, like literally cracked everywhere in terms of the leather, and then just his artwork there on top of it. So yeah, the main thing that I really got about it was that he used most of it as a political agenda and try to get out a message, which I completely respect. So I just try to take myself away from that and just appreciate the artwork. That was it. One of them, which was pretty cool, was that when you walk into one of the rooms of the exhibition, for the Keith exhibition, you walk in and he was very like adamant on loving hip hop, dance and rave and clubs back in the 80s. He absolutely loved it, and he used that as part of his work. So you went in to this room, and it's a UV room. So that blue UV room when you walk in into like a rave or a nightclub, and all the neons really pop and the blacks are really dull out, and you get the hints of just crazy light colors. He used that to his advantage in this part of the exhibition, or his artwork. So a lot of the pieces within this room are like maybe like 20 centimeters squared, has like an artwork there, and it's in like a neon orange that can only be seen with this UV. And there is no lights in the room, it's just the UV light, and everything just pops. And there's like a centerpiece in the middle, which I don't really remember what it was, but the iconic Keith drawing is the baby walking, the baby walking, the man dancing, which is related to his hip hop dancing or his love for rave, and also the dog, which I can't remember what the main reason behind the dog was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But with Keith's thing was that most of his drawings, you could see there were double lines, which weren't really used back then anyway. And he kind of revolutionized the stick figure, if you really do think about it, which is pretty nuts. But he had his double lines within his drawings to create movements within the artwork, which is pretty astonishing to think about. And to when you see the iconic dog from Keith Haring, the double lines is across the tail, because the tail's moving. It's not just a still image. He wants the image to be alive and kind of move through the art, which is pretty sick to think about. So if you do have the time, I highly recommend you guys check it out. It is something to behold. It is something beautiful to witness, and it is a Melbourne exclusive. If you have the time, go ahead and check it out. The next one on my list is Cause. That is gonna be phenomenal. Oh man, I'm so keen for that. Oh dude, because like when you walk in, NGV's main theme is Cause, because that's like most of their money. Like that's where they're getting all their profits from. Everyone knows about Cause. And there is just a crazy statue in the center of NGV, and it is so sick, man. Oh my god. It's like a couple meters tall. It's black, it's monochromatic, and it is just beautiful. So if you have the time, check out Cause, check out the Keith Haring exhibition, check out the Comme des Garçons. You're gonna be amazed. And that'll do for this very short podcast. I thought I'd just give you guys an outlook of what it was like going to NGV for the first time, and not having that kind of mindset, that really artsy mindset when it comes to going to like an art exhibition. I really go in and just appreciate the artwork and really look at the finer details, and that's it. I don't sometimes, it's good obviously to go about and read upon the seasons and behind every single piece, and to read upon every single artwork and the idea and the concept behind it. But sometimes at the end of the day, it's just overwhelming, because it's a lot of info to take in. You really have to take your time, really dissect it. And, I was really just there to appreciate each and every artwork piece. I never know how to end these, legit. Like, I'd take like 3 takes to do this shit. Like, honestly, I don't know how to ever end these, but other than saying, hope you guys enjoyed, which is the most generic shit I've ever fucking heard. But, I mean, if you aren't following me on the IG, it is Robert Verdugo Podcast. You go ahead and check it out. I made a separate IG for this because I do want this to start popping the fuck off. And it is very enjoying. So, if you follow me on there, DM me, give me like certain topics that you guys want me to talk about. You guys let me know. But with all that being said, I will see you guys on the next podcast on the Robert Verdugo Podcast. Take care, guys. Peace.